Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me for the 23rd Annual Groundhog Grappler, Round 2, Front 9. This footage brought to you by the Judges Disc Golf Club. Huge thank you to them. And we're jumping right in at hole 1. Par 3, 292 feet. This hole unchanged from the previous round. But you'll see we've got a bit of a different lineup. We've got Trey, Mason, Kyle, Calvin, and Frank. Trey shooting the hot round 7 down, Mason following that up with a 6 down. And of course we have Kyle, Calvin, and Frank pretty close together. So Trey up first, throwing the nice wide hyzer over the OB road, crashing in towards the basket. He'll have about a 15 or so footer. Sorry about the grinding noise. That is the tripod on the rocks. Not as good as whiskey, but Mason following that up. Coming up a little bit shorter. He'll be cut off a little bit in the woods, I believe. Or maybe he's parked. I don't remember. Kyle, of course. Ooh, very inside. Bit of very friendly kick there. Calvin, of course, to bring up 4th place. Also opting for a bit of an inside line here. Looks like he got just outside enough to where he'll have a look at the basket.
I was looking down. Oh, that was awesome.
And somebody we've never seen before, Frank. Ooh, also throwing in the inside line. Looks like he's got a backdoor look at the basket. Oh, Mason actually went longer. Never mind. I'm just crazy. Don't mind me. Ooh, get knocked down by that tree. He'll have an easy 3 from there. Here's Frank. Like I said, a little bit of a backdoor look. They've got this opening here. Giving it a good run. Had the height, but unfortunately not the line. Trey from about 15 or so feet, maybe a bit longer, just doinking off the band. You hate to see it. Very committed. Trey and Mason were a very interesting combo to have on the card because they both do not take their time when they do anything. They just walk up and they're like, I'm going to do this. So very interesting to have to adjust for that as the camera operator. Calvin using all the left side of the basket, carding the 2. Here we've got Kyle. Ooh, sneaking that in barely over the basket.
But that's on video.
Must be nice to be that lucky. Mason tapping in his 3. Frank for his 3. Oh, just a tiny bit undercommitted. Tapping in the bogey. Trey cleaning up his par though. Very unfortunate hole to miss. We arrive at hole 2, par 3, 450 feet. Probably the hardest hole on the course. I say probably, it most definitely is. I'm pretty sure every player you ask and every scorecard you see will show this as the most difficult hole. The only OB you have to worry about is the road on the far right, and if you kick that way, you're screwed. Sorry. Oh my gosh, there's so many trees on this hole. There's such a narrow fairway to hit to get to this basket, and it's 450 feet. So if you get the par here, you are taking strokes on the field. Kyle up first, throwing the nice drive down. He'll be in a pretty decent spot there. He'll have an easy up and down at the very least. Calvin to follow that up. And let me be clear that there was a lot of meat left on the bone from what Kyle threw. Oh, Calvin, if he just missed that tree, that would have been absolutely amazing. You saw the nice flip up there. Just flipped up right into the tree. Trey just hitting its neighbor, kicking almost to the same spot. He's only a couple feet up from where Calvin hit. But this is just a super, super difficult hole. Mason putting a great line on this. Ending up almost pin high, I believe, from where this shot landed. This was absolutely amazing, and it looked so effortless when he threw it. Ooh, just a little bit too much turn for Frank here. But he will hit nothing and be in a fantastic spot to get up and down. So here's Calvin from his early tree kick, and this is almost a guaranteed bogey from any of these early trees. Can't really see where this one landed. It landed actually long of the basket, so he got all the way through. It was an amazing shot, and I really wish we had a catch cam for that, because you'll see where he landed. Trey opting for the roller, hitting the only possible thing you could hit from a roller. Like, how unlucky can you get to throw a roller and hit a tree? Oh, just no luck for Trey. Yeah, here we see where Frank landed. Absolutely amazing drive, especially for the long position. Ooh, just a bit of a misrelease there. I'm going to say I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Ugh. Kyle. For some reason, not happy with getting the 3 on the hole. I mean, I guess he holds himself to a high standard. Trey trying to give that a run for the bogey, but he'll have a tap-in double. Ooh, Frank almost hitting the same spot as Trey. And here we see Calvin long of the pin. Absolutely amazing. That's a crush of a forehand. And that's a crush of a par save right there. That was amazing. Out of position, just everything in your way. Mason carding the 2. Absolutely stunning display. This is a amazing hole to get the 2 on. This is just a almost impossible hole to get the birdie on. Mason absolutely showing everybody up. Kyle trying to get the bogey, keeping it low for some reason instead of trying to go to the middle. Ooh, the rest of our players cleaning up. Here at hole 3, par 3, 401 feet. I'm not going to say this is the second most difficult hole on the course, but it's pretty high up there, probably top 5. And so this is a very difficult shot to get. This is a left to right shot the entire way. OB road to the left doesn't really come into play for most people. But this is just a crush of a turnover shot, or if you want to try and lace a forehand up there.
That left-handed.
That's what you try, but Mason getting the birdie. Show us how it's done. That is not how it's done. That was an early tree, and I believe that kicked him to the left. So he should be in a spot to be able to get up and down, but not what you want. Kyle absolutely lacing it. Beautiful shot right there.
That's good.
I mean,
That's really
yeah.
good.
No, that's a great shot. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. Calvin getting a little bit too much cut. He's going to end up in the shrubberies there. But he should have an easy up and down from there. And really, on this hole, an easy 3 is, you're not losing strokes to many people on this field. Ooh, Frank just getting no love here. Getting just knocked down. Should be an easy up and down. What can you say? First forehand of the day, I guess. That wasn't a good shot. I'm sorry, Trey. That was really unfortunate. And kicking off to this right side. Opting for, I believe this is a thumber or tomahawk.
Yeah.
And he'll end up in a pretty decent spot for having been in such a bad spot. Ooh, I forgot that he actually was right in here in the jail cell. A jail cell. Opting for this nice flaring forehand.
Yes, sir.
Give him a look at the basket. That's all you can ask for from being out of position. Mason ended up a bit long, I believe. I don't know. It's hard to follow. He doesn't give you time to set up the camera. Oh, Calvin actually cut rolled a bit, so this was a fantastic shot. Giving that a nice bid, but it's just a little far, and you've got those branches all in your way. Trey for his par. Ooh, trying to make some magic happen. Kyle for his 2. Foot fault. I'm just kidding. Ooh, very nice line, just a little bit high. Frank for his par save. Just a little bit too high. Had the distance. Mason faking me out with these pump fakes. Ooh. A little bit high. That leaves you a little bit of a tester of a comebacker. Trey getting his bogey. Passing off the mini to Kyle because he forgot to bring one. Mason throwing a tantrum. I mean, clearing out his lie. The one time he takes his time for the putt. You won't see that often. And all that time taken, and he still misses. Come on, man. You're gonna waste our time like that. You may as well make good results. Come on, dude. Don't kill me, Mason. I'm sorry. Frank tapping in his bogey. Not the way you want to start. I think that's a bogey, bogey, bogey. Kyle cleaning up the 3. Calvin to follow suit. Giving Mason some time to clear his head a little bit and get to his lie. Not taking any time and cashing the putt. That's what you want to see. Here we are at hole 4, par 3, 249 feet. This is probably the most forgiving hole of the front 9 that we'll have. An easy forehand shot for most of our players, and me personally, I try and throw the backhand turnover shot because that's what I'm more comfortable with, but very attackable hole. Definitely a gotta get for our field here. Kyle up first, opting for this forehand.
Hook hard.
And juicing it too much, and unfortunately kicking off of that pine tree straight forward. He'll have a look at the basket, but not getting the 2, most likely. Especially if he putts the way that he usually does. Oh! Calvin to follow that up, setting the bar real low. And he ends up also long and straight because they just have too much power. Come on, guys. Stop taking those steroids. Come on, Frank. Redeem us.
Dunk.
Ooh, throwing it nice and high. Letting the air do the work. Yeah. He'll end up with a good look at the basket. Trey trying to redeem his forehand. Yeah, and that's a great shot right there. Mason also opting for this nice high line. Hopefully fading in toward the basket. Should have a look from there. Here we see Calvin. Just practicing. See, he can't fake me out. I know exactly when he's going to putt because he like loads his whole body up. He's like, hoo-ah, like that. Ooh, good bid. Just leaving a little bit short. Kyle for his look at the 2. I I don't know what you can say about that. That was a pure air ball right there. Ooh. Also a very unfortunate putt there from Trey. Trying to start his round off right, just not really able to get it connected. Come on. Come on, Trey, you got this. You got this, Trey. Oh my gosh, what is this? A clinic on how not to putt? Jeez Louise. Don't miss this, Calvin. Jeez. He tried to. You see that? You see how far to the right that thing was? Half an inch more, and I don't think that would have gone in. Yep, and while we're young, Kyle, please. Well, Frank, please, please, Frank. Oh, thank God. Frank with the 2, saving the card. A star par. Ooh. Not the result you like to see. Hole 5, par 3, 374 feet. I don't believe this hole changed between rounds, so... Yeah, it looks like we're going to the same basket. So, OB road to the left, OB fence to the right. Obviously, the fence that you get over on your first shot, ideally, is not OB, but if you go over this fence far to the right that you see there, that is OB. So this is a pretty big smash of a shot. And Frank absolutely lacing it, getting to the right of that tree. Getting kind of an unfortunate skip to the left. That kind of cuts off the angle to the basket, seeing as it is between a couple of trees. We've got Kyle. I believe this is a leopard 3 he's throwing here. He'll end up with a look at the basket to the right. Calvin opting for this forehand play, leaving it out nice and wide. Expecting the skip, but unfortunately catching a little bit of tree limb there, kicking him straight down. Here's Trey. Opting for the nice wide right hyzer. I think this was a little bit too straight of a disc for what he was trying to do. But he ends up parked, so never mind. Mason turning his wrist too much here. Great distance. He's about pin high. And a fantastic skip there. Oh my gosh. And a nice roll. He'll have a look at the basket from a total shank job. Calvin giving this a nice run. He'll have a little bit of a tester there just because of that tree in the way. Here's Frank from where he landed. Nice little hyzer bit there. Tries to cut roll between the tree and the basket, but thankfully it stops. He's taking too much time. You know he's going to miss now. You just need to walk up and putt it like you normally do, Mason. Come on. We expect so many more things of you. Kyle's going to miss this too, probably. Look at that. Like, what could you even say to that? That was nowhere near the basket. And right there next to the tree, right in front of it, is Trey's disc. So Trey absolutely smashing the drive. See, look at that. Mason walks up, doesn't take his time, just walks up and putts it, and it goes in. Just do that every time. Rest of our card cleaning up their pars. And of course, Trey to follow with the tap-in birdie. Unfortunately, not CTP. The CTP flag there is a couple inches further up than where his disc landed. Great shot, Trey. Hole 6, par 4, 696 feet. OB road to the left, OB road to the right, and swinging around. So this kind of plays a bit like an island, but the whole hole is the island, so I don't really know if it plays like that. I don't know. But first shot, you want to just pipe it down there as far as you can. Ideally, in my opinion, you want to end up closer to the road on the right, so you have a nice forehand approach in. This is a fast green, so you can get a little bit of skip play. Trey up first. And I don't know what you want me to say about that. Moving right along. Frank. Oh, Heather. When I say that, he threw it into the ground. It wasn't very far. Frank going a little bit higher, thankfully, and getting some great distance with this shot. Yeah, that's probably about 350 feet, 300, 400. Kyle to follow suit, and I move over so that we can actually see where the disc is going because that flag was in the way. Kind of jerk puts a flag here. Kyle throwing only a couple feet off of the ground, smashing that thing down there. That was like 450 feet. That was amazing. That's like a Calvin Heimberg type shot. Speaking of which, Calvin opting for the big turnover, looks like. Kind of hard to see where that landed, but it wasn't bad. He was obviously unhappy with that out of the hand, but I don't think that was a bad shot. Mason turning this one way over. Not OB. Thank God, not OB. But he'll be in a pretty decent spot to get up and down, actually, for the 3. Here we go with Trey. And this was a beautiful shot. I'm not anywhere near it, unfortunately. But that was a great distance. He's got to look at the basket. He can run it. Not as close as you'd like, obviously, but for where he was, that was nice and piped. Frank with a beautiful shot here as well. Yeah, he'll have about a 15 or so footer from there. Beautiful shot. Calvin trying to figure out what he wants to do. Looks like he's going to line up the back end. And this was a Toro. I just want to let you know that. This was a Toro. The end of a zone. And he just threw that like 300 feet dead straight. So, yeah. We go with Kyle.
Yep.
Getting a nice shot here. Getting some good ground play, like we've come to expect from this fast green.
I love that you throw invaders, too.
And that was indeed an invader, as Calvin was talking. Trey, give me no time. Giving it a run. A very unfriendly roll. He's left with a 15-footer for par. That's scary. This is not where Mason ended up from his first shot. We missed his first shot, or his second shot, because he doesn't take time, and he didn't give me a chance to get set up. But he's cashing the birdie anyway, so it doesn't matter. Frank, just a little bit low, undercommitted. Ooh, Trey just airballing that. Not really able to connect on his drives and his putts lately. He's a really good player, so this is uncharacteristic. I'll talk smack as much as you want, but he's very good. He could throw circles around me all day. So this is very uncharacteristic. That's the kind of putt we've come to expect from Kyle. So no shade. He did that himself. Great approach from Calvin. Just that was amazing. A Toro that straight. Frank to clean up his par. Hole A or hole 6B, depending on which thing you're looking at. The tournament calls it hole A, so we're calling it hole A. Par 3, 306 feet. This is an unfortunate addition to the course due to hole 18 being under construction due to them building some kind of beach or something like that. OB road to the right and OB water to the left. And lots of trees, but lots of gaps to hit. So you can kind of throw it however you want. Calvin opting for the Toro, it looks like.
Mess with you in round one, it helped that time.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Getting a nice reaction off the tree there to push him a little bit closer to the basket. Got Mason, who made that amazing circle 2 putt. Very little walk up. And looks like he chose a little bit too much of a stable disc.
Suck that much.
Looks like he made words. He got some nice ground play. He'll be looking at the basket at least. Looks like Kyle's trying to flex a forehand Firebird up there. Looks like he hit the same tree Calvin did.
Took all the luck out of it. That one tree.
No, that one's to the left. Never mind. He'll have a look at the basket, but it'll be circle 2. Ooh, nice snap there off of Frank's disc. And he'll have about a 10-footer. Whack. Really unfortunate. Trey not really able to get off the tee lately. This was a really high approach shot. I think that's a bit of a misrelease for him. I think he wanted that to be a little bit lower. Maybe he wanted it to try and crash into the basket. Kyle from circle 2. A good bid, just faded out a little bit early. Here we see Calvin from, I don't know, 20 feet? And you hear that same faucet that we heard in round 1. Nice putt from Calvin here, catching the 2. There we go, Mason. No time taken. Cashing the birdie. Trey for his par. No time taken, cashing the par. Look at that. Kyle trying to trip up Trey. Trying to sabotage the competition over here. Excuse me while I lose my voice. I don't know what to tell you. He's been missing right this whole time, so spend some time with that practice basket, dude. Frank with his tap-in birdie here. Beautiful throw from him. Great accuracy on that approach. Or, I'm sorry, on that drive, not approach. Kyle to clean up his bogey. Hole 7, par 4, 519 feet. The 7th hole of the course, but the 8th hole for the tournament. Whoa, how does that work? OB road to the right. The fence is not OB when the pin position is over the fence, like it is now. That would be kind of evil. You gotta throw it in from like 80 feet. Ooh, that'd be interesting. Hey, Trey, get on that. Come on, man. Your first shot is mostly a placement shot. You want to be in a nice open spot. Ideally where the fence opening is. That is not the shot that you would like. And also that roll was super mean because it's now just up against that tree. Not giving you any chance of a run-up.
There we go. Good one.
Frank flirting with that tree as well. Throwing it nice and wide. And that's the ideal spot that you want to land at. Yeah, since everybody was throwing down that right side, I'm like, I can't see where the disc is. Let me move. Wham! That thing was zipping. And that did, in fact, go very far OB. Trey finally able to get off the tee with a fantastic shot here. Should leave him in a perfect position to get up and down. Kyle opting for this Halo Destroyer that he loves so much and ending up in a fantastic spot as well. Nice and low and great distance here. Calvin hitting 2 trees. Or 3 trees maybe. And he will be in a tough spot, but able to get up and down, hopefully. Mason from where he went OB. This was smashed out there, let me tell you that. He's got like 20, 25 feet or so to the basket from where he landed. That was amazing. Calvin from where he unfortunately got shot down. Bang, bang. Ooh, too stable. Get around it? Yeah. He'll end up with a circle 2 look at the basket from there, I believe. Trey in the ideal landing spot. He was lining up the forehand and opted for the backhand instead. And based on this result, I don't know why he did that. Giving himself a really tough look at the birdie. Kyle, he's throwing the pig. You know it's got to go in. Well, it's not in, but it's a tap in, so I guess that's fine too. Whatever. Great shot from Kyle there. Frank with an even closer look. Giving himself a great look at the 3 here as well. Calvin deep in circle 2, maybe circle 3. Nice. I also love how the light catches the disc as it goes in like that. And it just flashes. That was so cool. I'm like, oh man, I wish I planned it like this. This was amazing. Ooh, very committed putt from Mason there. Not able to save the par. Trey with his look at the 3. Ooh. Making minis. Don't think about it, Frank. Just do it. You got this. Ooh, that was a nervy putt right there. Still goes in though. Scorecard doesn't care. And our final hole for the front 9, hole 8, which is very confusing. Par 4, 525 feet. You got the silver basket right there, but this position is straight up the gut here. This plays more like 650 feet, I'd say. I don't know, maybe closer to 600 feet, just because of how uphill it is. Ideally, after your tee shot, you will be at that light pole there, or power pole, I suppose you'd call that, or further up. But really, the first shot is mostly about placement. You really want to be at the gap, just like Frank shows us right here. And maybe that was a little bit close to the power pole, but still a very, very good shot. Kyle pushing up a little close to the woods, but he should be in a fine spot to get up and down. The further left and further right you are, the more cut off you are. So really, even if you get to the silver basket, you're fine, as long as you're not left or right. Calvin flirting with the power line. Speaking of power, holy crap, that was smashed. Trey, ooh, flirting with that right side. And he pushes up pretty close to the woods, and I think that's going to cut his position off a bit. The mustache man himself. Ooh, this was not a good throw. Kicked him down, kind of off the fairway. He has a pretty decent look at the mouth though, so for me, I would just lay it up. I'm not super aggressive and out of position. Ooh, no. You don't want to try and eat too much because you will get punished badly. Opting for this flexing forehand. That ended up in a decent spot. I think it's actually a little further up from where Calvin is, but not ideal for the third shot. Frank kind of babied that because he was worried about smashing his hand into the power pole. Totally understandable. So if you're ever in that position, just go a little bit flippier because you're going to early release it. Ooh. Trey getting a friendly kick back toward the basket. A little bit too much flex on that. Kyle opting for this invader. Get some great ground play. He'll be up next to the basket. Finally getting to Calvin.
Oh my god.
Ooh, yank that one off, but getting all the tree love over here. Still ending up in a great spot under the basket. Mason putting a forehand out there. Very disappointed with the result there, as you can tell from him saying, "Of course," really moodily. Oh. And that's just mean. That's just hurtful right there. Frank with his look at the 3 from here. Oh, great line, just a little low. Trey not taking any time, unfortunately, on that. Should have taken a little bit more. Mason carding the bogey. Calvin with his look at the 3. Very friendly kick off that tree. Ooh, nice and committed. Kyle with his 3. Trey just giving up hope. Just like, whatever. And Frank clean up his par. That'll conclude the front 9. Hopefully you catch you guys on the back 9, where we see the thrilling conclusion. Catch you guys next time. Thank you.